My name is Jessica. I go to UCL and I study psychology.
So I go to UCL University College London. My name is Ethan and I do arts and sciences.
My name's Alessia. I do French and Italian and I go to UCL.
Name Yannis Antares, degree history, bachelor's, and what was the last question?
What uni you go to?
UCL.
Yeah, woo, UCL.
My name's Simona. I study history of art. I go to UCL.
I'm Adam, just finished year 2 med, thankfully passed. By the skin of your teeth.
Hi, my name is Neha Tripathi. I go to Johns Hopkins University and my majors are molecular and cellular biology and public health, and I also have a minor in women, gender, and sexuality studies.
I'm Chris Corcoran. I'm studying political science at Ohio State University.
My name is Nola and I'm a history student at UCL. I know a lot of you might be wondering what are some of the differences between studying in the US versus the UK. And today, me and some of my friends are going to try to answer those questions, go over some of the details, and kind of just give information that might help you figure out which university style is a better fit. UCL is set up in terms. We have 3 terms. One is from like September to before Christmas. The second is after Christmas, so like Easter-ish. And then we have like a month of break. And then we have the 3rd term, which is just exams. My degree program is 3 years. I think I have like 5 classes a year. It's not that many. I only have 6 contact hours like in a week.
It changes in term like 1 and 2. Mostly lectures. We have seminars once a week.
I think 8.
Typically you have 4 modules or 4 times 30 credits. So if you do 8 half modules, you can do 8. But I do 5 this year because I do 2 15 credits.
I think compared to especially the STEM subjects, it's a lot less. There was maybe 1 day a week I'd have 3, and then the other 4, maybe 2, at most 3 classes a day.
This year we had about 4 modules.
Curriculum is super flexible. Every major here has certain like category requirements. We have to take a certain amount of writing intensive courses, a certain amount of science courses that are like qualitative, a certain amount that are quantitative. You never have to take a course that you hate unless it's like one of like your degree requirement courses.
Semester schedule, and you take usually 5 or 6 classes a semester, which comes out to about 16 to 17 in-classroom hours and maybe 30-ish hours of homework a week. I'm minoring in 2 different things, international relations and comparative religious studies, both of which are just kind of tacked on to the major. They don't really add too much. I think you have to take like 5 extra classes for each one. I came in with a good number of credits just because of AP classes. It's pretty easy to throw on 2 minors just because you actually need classes to fill your schedule.
Since I do a humanities degree, I get to choose basically all of my classes, which is really nice because, you know, I get to really hone in on what I want to specialize in and what I'm most interested in. We're allocated classes in kind of like a lottery system. We fill out a form and you put your like top 10 choices when you just kind of send that and then pray that you get your first choices.
Some modules are like capped, so they're based on like who has the best grades from the previous year.
And what kind of modules is that?
Statistics.
Med school is structured a little differently to how like the rest of the courses are done. Because there's 400 of us, we all have the same modules.
Depends on the amount of credits you have. So the more credits you have, the earlier you schedule. I'm in the honors college at Ohio State, so we get priority scheduling.
My favorite class from this year was at Royal Holloway. I did an intercollegiate course. I think that was my favorite class, not because it was at a different university, but just because it's about food and the medieval ages, and like that is so cool. But also, if we're talking about UCL, I think my favorite class was my 2nd year research seminar about 1920s China and like the May 4th Revolution.
I kind of liked them all towards the end. Like when we were revising for exams, felt like I understood everything properly. Started to gain more knowledge about every module.
I really liked my one module that is like completely unrelated to my degree. So utopias and dystopias. That one was just really interesting.
Habsburg successes in Eastern Europe and Central Eastern Europe after the First World War, 1918 to 1945.
Nice.
I really
Well,
enjoyed
those
that.
dates are locked in there.
Yeah.
I liked endocrine systems and reproduction. That was a pretty good module. Obviously the cancer module was pretty good because I'm doing that next year.
Last semester, I took Orgo Lab. I loved applying like the organic chemistry skills that I was learning in Orgo 1 to lab, but my favorite humanities course I took is Bodies in Flux, Medicine, Gender, and Sexuality in the Modern Middle East.
Get intro to just comparative religious studies. It covered like a wide breadth of information. The professor was amazing. We watched an episode of South Park in class. It was about Scientology, so we talked about Scientology and like new religions.
In term 3 we had our exams, but we had coursework throughout the year as well. Our lab reports, we have like 4 or 5 lab reports depending on the module.
It depends on the module, and with a lot of the sciencey STEM ones like econ, it's an exam, but with the humanities ones it tends to be coursework.
The assignments, I just love the way you have so much freedom every time you're supposed to write an essay. So many ways to explore one topic, and it's just so beautiful.
I like coursework, so I picked more modules that are 100% coursework based. So I've got about 40% of my marks are from exams this year, I'd say.
The first 2 years were graded pass-fail. So first year it's going to be 2 written papers. In second year we have 1 written paper and 2 practical exams.
It depends on the professor and their syllabus. Most classes, your final is the majority of your grade. Maybe you'll have a few midterms as well. But then with like other courses, sometimes it's 15% participation, 50% final, and then the rest is in classwork.
So maybe like late February to like late March.
Just like term 2 in general. So many all-nighters in the student center. It was intense. At the end of March, I was just down the library staring at the computer, just like...
It's got to be crunch time exam season, right?
Common
Late
answer.
April, early May.
Finals, specifically fall semester finals.
Finals, last week of November, and then the last week of April. Those are the 2 most stressful weeks of the year by a mile.
For the first term, it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4. We were chilling, and then we weren't chilling. Yeah, then we weren't chilling. Then it was like a maybe 8 or 9 during that like time of just deadlines.
Throughout the year, 4. The last month, 9.
Incredibly stressed, and that's normal with everyone here because everyone's pre-med and they care about their grades, but you're also surrounded by people who constantly outperform you too. In high school, if I was stressed, I'd be like, this is hard, but I know I'm gonna do better than a lot of people still. Or at least I'll do well. Okay, I knew I know that I would do well, but now it's like I'm stressed. But now I'm stressed and I also do bad.
5.5 maybe. Okay. Like there's a lot of pressure, but it's not like, it's nothing that's not manageable.
For history, it's very informal. You address your professors just by their first name. We have like a pub crawl with one of our professors, John Chandler, if I'm correct about that. It's nice because I feel like this is our first time, talking to our professors or teachers like adults.
We have our seminar leaders, but our actual lecturers, we don't speak to them.
The lecturers are all generally pretty cool, and like I'll talk to them and be like, oh my god, you've actually lived like a whole life. Like some of them write articles for the Times like on a daily, and I'm like, wow, like you'll actually send me have clout.
Academic clout.
And then also the professors are almost always leading the seminars. In that sense, we get a lot of contact time, lectures as well for some modules.
I know a lot of people who go to office hours consistently, so they'll have very close relationships with professors. I have a few professors that I will talk to outside of class, but most of the time it's just kind of, I go see them in class. It's lecture style, so it's hard to really have a relationship unless you go to office hours.
I'm an international student, which means my tuition is higher. I pay about £23,000 a year.
The UK fees, which is around 9K.
Okay, I think on average, most people here pay like 60K a year. They meet 100% of demonstrated need. If you qualify for a certain like income bracket, they'll match that either in like loans, financial aid, or like a work study. But one of your parents or like one of your family members works at Hopkins, you get half, probably pay about like 30K because they get half tuition.
In-state, I think, is 25-ish before any scholarships, and then out-of-state is 49 before scholarship. After scholarship, and I'm taking some small student loan, I think it's 28,000 a year. That's tuition, room and board.
We won the league. We got to the Premier League, which is the highest one. So that was very, very, very good. 1 practice a week, 1 strength and conditioning, then games every week.
Quite big on sports. I'm like the co-captain of the volleyball team at UCL. Especially with UCL, there's so many people. Like, we have good talent everywhere. Half our team's England national members. They'll have like played well in China, and we don't have a sports hall. Like, we're in the top league, we only get 1 training a week. But in the US, they all have their own sports halls. They have like training every day. Like, we can't compete with them at all in that area.
Really big gym. 8 basketball courts, 6 volleyball courts, an area for hitting golf balls.
2-3 floors of weightlifting equipment, indoor track, 4 swimming pools, 2 saunas, 10 tennis courts, 3 turf fields.
Ohio State's known for having good athletics. That's a lot of people's draw to go there, because people want like a football school. The atmosphere of the games isn't like nothing I've ever experienced. It's 110,000 people in one stadium screaming in unison. It's crazy.
I learned we have a football team. I didn't know that. Or is it bad basketball. We're good for lacrosse. I don't even remember which one's good. Is it D1? Yeah, we're D1 for lacrosse. Like lacrosse has their own practice building thing, and other than that, it's like okay.
First year, I lived in student housing, student accommodation at Campbell House East. That is where I made all my friends. So thanks Campbell for that. This year, I just live in my own flat with 4 of my other friends, and we live 10-15 minutes away from campus. We don't have roommates in the UK. That's kind of a win.
I live off campus. You need a whole separate video of just me complaining about everything wrong with my year 2 accommodation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm living with my friends now, which is really fun. I think my top tip is when you're looking for second year housing, do not live in a basement.
It's an intercollegiate accommodation. You've got people from UCL, LSE, King's, the Royal Academy of Music as well. It's near Marble Arch as well, which is nice.
My accommodation situation this year, I'm renting with 2 other people, one other medic, George, and then a neuroscientist, Yasmin. Name drop.
Shout out.
Yeah, little shout out. It's a 30-minute walk to uni. It's £2,665 a month.
I literally cannot eat at the dining hall. They also have given a lot of people stomach issues. That's not super uncommon at US universities, at the very least, is what I've noticed. At Hopkins, you have to live in campus housing for the first 2 years. I love my roommate. I had her freshman year and sophomore year. I met her a day before you were allowed to request a roommate.
I'd say just being in the same proximity as them. Well, I imagine American schools to be very like cliquey because of High School Musical.
Most of my friends have been from my halls in Gardens. A lot of my friends actually aren't at UCL. Volleyball is a good place. I think all societies are a good place.
In Freshers Week, I don't know, we all just kind of came together, but none of us lived in the same accommodation.
Okay, it's called Fresher Week. You're supposed to make friends, but I didn't make friends at any like specific meet and greet places that they want you to find friends. I literally met you on the street. We were just walking to volleyball tryouts, and your whole group that you lived with was there. Then I have one best friend on my course.
I've done like a 50-50 split through like accommodation and through my course.
This school is very small for a US school. You run into the same people, you start talking a little bit. I think like the easiest way to make friends here is just kind of like going to like a club event and then just like asking someone to dinner.
Most of my very close friends were people that I met very early on in my freshman year dorm. The people that I was kind of stuck with, and they just never got rid of me.
K-pop society. As soon as you join, you can't escape. They like cheer you on even if they don't know you, like in dance classes, for showcases.
I already said I'm in bubble tea.
I'm in Bubble Tea Society.
We're on the committee.
We are the committee. Oh yeah. Wait, I'm in Tree Climbing Society, and I didn't go to a single event because I didn't know when they had the event.
Yeah, now's your time. Right behind you.
I don't know how am I meant to get up this tree?
Maybe if you went to the events, you would know.
That's so true.
I'm treasurer of UCL United Nations Association. I like Model UN. I'm also in the Czech and Slovak Society because I'm half Czech. Play football as well in third team. Also sometimes Law Society because I want to be a lawyer.
Art Society, because they do live drawings every week, which we love.
Yeah.
I joined so many.
I'm in Improv the Buttered Niblets. We're Hopkins' one and only and best improv group. I'm also part of the Advocates of Reproductive and Sexual Health on campus. I go to a lot of the South Asian student events.
It's called the Alexander Hamilton Society. It's like a foreign policy debate club.
You get a taster, whichever societies that you could think of joining.
Loads of stuff going on campus, and everyone just goes clubbing for like 7 days straight.
For me personally, I was like drunk for like 7 nights in a row, so. I think previously it used to be very alcohol focused, but now I think UCL is actually quite good, or London unis, like they're doing stuff that isn't alcohol based.
Did clubbing for like Abacus, which is like Asian British society. Went to Scala a few times, but we weren't like the Scala regulars.
So clubbing culture in the UK is pretty big. Sports night that people go to, which is a Wednesday night for us. Everyone's always trying to find tickets for that. Me personally, I don't really go clubbing that often. There are lots of other things to do.
I like just walking around UCL. It's a nice area. Being in London is a very big advantage it has. Like there's just so much stuff to do around here.
Scala and posting TikToks about Jeremy Bentham. People that don't go to UCL and they're like, why do you have this? But if you go to UCL, you're like, it's Jeremy Bentham. Like it's so normal.
So overstuffed. Got more libraries.
The balance and the vibe I really like. Loads of people from loads of different places doing loads of different things. It's got a great student body. Diverse in every way, like type of people, obviously me being so diverse. But like everyone's doing everything, people coming from everywhere. that's probably my favorite thing. So the main library is really nice. We have loads of different libraries. I like CS1, other people don't.
Controversial opinion.
Controversial, yeah.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of school spirit. A lot of people don't like this school. No one's ever like, oh my god, go Hopkins. But if someone trash talks Hopkins and they don't go to Hopkins, obviously everyone's very defensive. Pull up the stats, you know?
Say it.
Like, the top like public research university in the United States. The culture here is super competitive.
It's not a small school atmosphere, but everyone's kind of unified. Football is a perfect example. Everyone together. Very positive, actually. People help each other out.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's in this video. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure everybody watching really appreciates it too. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.